Okay, I want to respond to this comment. The dear sister said, you must rightly divide the word, I guess the word of truth. Okay, so we're going to rightly divide the word of truth because a lot of people are not clear about judgment. They're not clear about a people because everybody wants to say, oh, it's not about black and white, right? We all one. No, we're not all one. We are one as far as as creation, but there are judgments for every nation, and the nations that did the Israelites wrong must be and will be judged. Let's see what the book said. This is Isaiah chapter 2. It said, the word that Yoshiyahu, the son of Amos, saw concerning Yehuda and Jerusalem, it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yah's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. Now, if it doesn't matter who you are, what your nationality is, why would the prophet say that? Because all nations, there are going to be separate nations, right? Because you're not going to lose your identity in the kingdom. People think that you're not going to lose your identity in the kingdom. You will be returned to your own people. Let's continue. And many people shall go and say, come, let us go up to the mountain of Yah, to the house of the Elohim of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yah from Jerusalem. See, because your pastors tell you we're not under the law. The Most High is like, no. All nations are going to learn the law in the millennial age. Make no doubts about that. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So if your national heritage doesn't matter, why would he say that in prophecy, right? Because there's a reason for saying it, because every nation is going to return to their own land. Watch this. Okay, this is Isaiah 13:6. How ye, for the day of Yah is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another, and their faces shall be as flame. Behold, the day of Yah comes, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Who are the sinners? The sinners are the lawless, those that say we're not under the law, brother, we're under grace. Those are the ones the Most High is going to deal with. Let's continue. For the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth. The moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, watch this now, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yah of hosts, and in that day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chased roe and the sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. But you say it doesn't matter what your nationality. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter black and white. The prophet said every man's going to return to their own people and to their own land. You're going to go back home to Israel. That's where we come from. That's where our land is. And our people are going to be together, and we're going to learn how to dwell together in unity. Ain't going to be no fighting. Ain't going to be no drive-by shooting. None of the nonsense going on. But let me continue. He says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined into them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed into pieces before the eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Right? That's why they want to destroy the Muslims, because the Medes, the Arab Medes, are coming, as prophecy said, part of Yah's judgment. Let's continue. He said, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children, right? And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of Chaldea's excellency shall be as when Yah overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitchers tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Right? And this is not to pick on my sister, but this is for everybody that don't know that these judgments are in the book. Let me show you something else. Zechariah or Zechariah 14. Behold, the day of Yah comes, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall Yah go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave, it shall in the midst thereof, and towards the east and towards the west, and there shall be a great valley, and half the mountain shall be removed to the north. He says, and you shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azal. Yes, you shall flee like as you fled before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Yehudah, and Yah, my Elohim, shall come, and all the saints with thee. Boom! Who are those saints that are going to come with them? Let's show you real quick. First, we're going to go to Luke 21:24, right? It says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So who was led captive for all nations? The so-called Negroes. That's the slave trade, right? Now watch this now. He's going to tell you who he's going to come and get. This is Matthew 29, right? He says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, right? So you got tribes mourning, but you got tribes of heaven. Watch this, and the Son of Man coming in heaven, and the tribes of the earth are going to mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and with great glory. Watch this now. And he shall send his angel with a great sound, that's the last trumpet, and they shall gather the elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven unto the other. So who is he gathering? I'm going to show you real quick, and that's going to be it. Here's Joel 3 real quick. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Yehudah and Jerusalem, that's who he's going to gather. Now I will gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead or judge them. Therefore my heritage, my Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land, they have cast lots for my people, and they have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Right now, he says, I will raise them out of the places where you have sold them. I will return your recompense upon your own head, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, right? And the people far off, for Yah have spoken it. Bam! So that's why it's important to know who's who, because there's judgments on nations. Shalom, shalom, shalom.